Hey guys, Wolvie here with a video for the City of Final Fantasy Opera Amiel Global for the 17th of August 2020. This will pertain information kind of late on my end related to the newest Lost chapter that just went live on Global. We're going to go over important information on that alongside information pertaining to the debut of Ultimecia LD Weapon, the realisation info for Paine EX Weapon. At the end of the video, I will be revealing the next two character spotlight quick tips videos. You know, the odd months for the male characters, the even months for the female characters. So I do have September and October locked, and some tentatives for maybe December. So with that, any opinions in this video will be in my opinion only. I will be having information pertaining to, information from the Cydia database website in the description below, you know, because that way you get information on Paine EX Weapon post-realization in there, all that good stuff. So I will meet you all at the home screen. So before all this stuff, I do want to keep you guys posted. I am still looking at rooms for rent, so I'm still looking. I have yet to secure anything just yet, so a little quick update on that. I am back, so we are going to go over a few things here there. So first and foremost, we do have the return of the limited time weapon enhancement chest. There are 4 of these altogether. These are $19.99 United States currency. And for some Android users, there is going to be a sales tax involved. So I do mention this because where I live in the United States, I do have the tax involved in my in any bundles that I buy. So just a little heads up. So some people may say, "Oh, I don't get the tax." However, there is a tax involved in some states in the U.S. So, and to explain all this, I will have another link in the description below. This is going to be pertaining to the terms of service that does explain the whole thing with taxes and bundles for things like the City of Final Fantasy Opera Amiel. So that way I'm not just talking out of my ass. But outside of that, this is what the weapon enhancement chest contains. I was to say pertains. I meant to say contains. So it is going to be 3,000 gems, 1 red ingot, 4 power stones, and 5 EX weapon orbs. So that's that. And that's some really good stuff. We're going to go into briefly the 7-day gem sale pertaining. Not pertaining. Damn it! I'm at it again. So it's the 7-day gem sale that is linked to the Lost chapters, so we should be seeing another one of these later on this week. So it will have the standard operating procedures. I definitely will not be getting this. I mean, I may have mentioned it a little earlier in this video. I'm still looking for another roommate situation. I've yet to secure something, so there are very purchases I am putting on hold for the game until I actually have something secured regarding the eventual move. So with that bit out of the way, we're going to go into the information pertaining to the newest Lost chapter, Governors of Time. This is the permanent return of Ultimecia from Final Fantasy VIII. I do want to warn everybody, this is a bit of a spoiler. Ultimecia does get her 8080 awakening in the future. She does have it on JP. It is yet to happen on Global, so just a little heads up. And with that, we do have the debut of the character enhancement boards for both Ultimecia and Paine being from Final Fantasy X-2. Now, when it comes down to the token mission, quote unquote, so you trade in 10 of the gold tokens for the Doja artifact for Paine, Squall, and Ultimecia, you do get 200 gems in return. Now, when it comes to the things you get from Ultimecia's original event, if you missed out on this the first time around, you do get 1 free copy of the 15 CP weapon alongside the 2 copies of the 35 CP armor for Ultimecia. Now, the thing here is with Ultimecia, she is a magic damage dealer. She is of the other weapon class. And with that, we're going to go into a recap of her first two skills. Protein Source has a base use count of 9. She does get one more use. Now with Hell's Judgment, she does get 4 uses altogether with a base use count of 3. Now you have here the additional ability, Set Brave Region. This is the her additional ability, so that's on that. A recap of her inframed buffs here, and inframed debuff we have Maleficium. This raises max bravery and attack. Sorceress's Hatred. This is an inframed debuff. This lowers defense, affects a certain amount of brave damage. Brave Regis restores a certain amount of bravery each turn. Now I do want to mention here for Ultimecia's EX Weapon, once you get it fully realized, 3 out of 3, the E sphere is 8 defense down. This actually works well with Ultimecia herself because it helps the debuff even be better. So we have here Effect, that's the name of the boss. It is of the the boss from Final Fantasy VI, the Death Gaze, where it's kind of like flying, that sort of thing. Now, for every difficulty of the fight against Effect, they are resistant to Dark Element attacks. Now, for the Chaos difficulty, they are immune to Confuse. So, this is one where you might want to be careful with bringing Porum here, because she does have the ways to bring in the Confused status. But in the Chaos difficulty, they're immune. So, if you bring Porum to use Cry, it's only to use the defense down effect. Debuff-wise, that is. Now, characteristics for all quests. Effect will use Aqua Power to remove all debuffs, that is, it's framed, and grant bravery to self. Since Effect will reduce incoming brave damage until inflicted with break characters who will deal effective percentage-based brave damage, meaning that the gravity effect. Now we're going to go into a quick recap of the event mission details. I already went over the artifact mission details, so this is pretty much it what you see here. Now, for the Governance of Time Chaos, the challenge quest, you don't have many options here. You only have Squall, Ultimecia, and Paine for synergy. You also have Shantoto due to burst synergy. So the ideal way to heal, if you need a bring along healer for the challenge quest, is to have Alexander as your Esper. Now for the Chaos regular one, you can bring in Porum, but you might want to be careful with using her skill 1 because, again, the Chaos difficulty, the effect is immune to the Confused debuff. So with that bit out of the way, we're going to go into the banner itself. So this will have the return of the burst weapon for Shantoto. This will also have the debut of the LD weapon for Ultimecia, alongside the 1535 and EX weapons for Ultimecia, Squall, and Paine. Now we're going to go into really quickly the information pertaining to Ultimecia's LD weapon. It has the LD ability called Shockwave Pulsar. So what this is it is a 8-hit group magic brave attack and group HP attack, moderately increased brave damage when attacking single target. Stolen bravery may exceed max up to 200%. Deals proportionate HP damage to each target, which is AoE split. Grants 5 levels of Maleficium to self for 6 turns, limit 5 stacks. Grants Source's Intervention to self for 6 turns. This is a new inframed buff to Ultimecia. Restores a certain amount of bravery. Raises the amount of stolen bravery. May exceed max. I'm not so sure about the wording about that one, so yeah. 1 out of 3 Mighty Shockwave Pulsar, slightly made. So basically, each version out of 3 is a slight raise to max bravery and attack. So 1 out of 3, slightly increased brave damage dealt with Shockwave Pulsar. 2 out of 3 increased duration of Source's intervention to 10 turns from 6. 3 out of 3, you have 1 more use of Shockwave Pulsar. This is pretty damn good. It's decent for what it can do. Now, I will say here, in addition, Ultimecia does not get her rework. I want to say she gets it in her 80 Awakening, which is coming along at some point in the future for Global. Now we're just going to go all the way down to Paine EX Weapon. I'm just going to reveal post-realization info. So 0 out of 3. Now this is where it becomes, she hits twice here. So you have the first group of 4 hits, and then you have the second group of 4 hits at 0 out of 3. In addition, when using Dancing Sword, largely increases cumulative break damage. Also, this is a Sword Dance Plus. This is tremendously increased cumulative break damage. Another boost to parties, initial break, max break, attack up and defense up effect from Wing Power. Also, the effects from that also with the enemies. So initial break down, max break down, attack down, defense down. So it's the same thing. 1 out of 3 is a moderate raise to max bravery and attack. 2 out of 3 at the start of the quest, she gets 3 stacks of the Just Sphere infrared buff for 6 turns, limit 5 levels. Grants Wing Power to self for 6 turns. At the start of each wave, inflicts status break on all enemies for 5 turns. This is really, really good because it makes Paine a little bit more efficient, even though she does not have a rework at this time. She has yet to get one on JP, so that's that on that. 3 out of 3 post-realization. So this is where she gets 1 use of her skill 1 break attack back. And this is the information pertaining how she gets the Brave Attack plus, HP Attack plus, the Triple Cut plus, that sort of thing. She gets the E-Sphere, Weak Attack up, down all. This is raised attacks, parties attack by 5%, lowers all enemies attack by 10% for 3 turns. When attacking target's weakness, does not stack with the same sphere. So the thing is, despite not getting a rework, this is pretty good for Paine, believe it or not. And I will say this in all honesty, though, is that she has a bit of an issue of Cryo pre-LD. Meaning that Cryo, with the whole thing with Cryo, I will say this, is that once you get Cryo's EX, she needs to be not only realized, but also 3 out of 3. And the thing is, with Paine, she is given the same issue here. Now, like I said, I do hope Paine gets an excellent rework when she gets her LD on JP, and that comes in a later date on Global. Now, overall, this is one of those banners you can actually skip. And again, this is for the reason that Ultimecia's LD Weapon does come back with her 80 Awakening. However, that in itself becomes a problem because when Ultimecia gets her first weapon, her 80 Awakening, and I believe her rework, the rework information, don't quote me on it, so... But anyway, so when it comes down to the burst and the return of her LD and her debut of her burst weapon for Ultimecia, there are some characters where their LD is insanely good, namely Pinello and Hope. I wasn't too sure about Hope at first, but I did a little digging, and it does turn out that Ultimecia is going to be burst synergy for an event where Hope gets his LD weapon. So that's a little forewarning. You have Pinello and Hope. If you're going after the LD weapons, this is actually the best time to get Ultimecia's LD. So it really depends on who you're developing and all that stuff. So if you're not a fan of Hope, if you're not a fan of Pinello, you can actually get away with skipping pulling out this banner until Ultimecia's burst and LD weapon comes back. And when I say that, I mean the latter, the LD. Now, if you want Hope's LD weapon in the future for Global, if you want Pinello's LD, then you might as well pull on this banner. So it really depends on who you're liking, all that good stuff. So it's just a bit of a situational here, you know, depending on the individual player, who they have, who they like, the meta thing, etc., etc. Me personally, I will be pulling on this one at a later date because I like Pinello, and Hope is actually growing on me. So it's one of those that's like, okay, I might as well, go after certain things. And Ultimecia is not going to be the only character where, when it comes down to the LD, when it comes back with the burst, yeah. And I kind of say it like this because there is one LD coming along to Global in the near future, which is Emperor. When it comes back, when the LD comes back with his burst weapon, he has Celeste, believe it or not, getting her LD weapon alongside Aranea. So it's one of those things that's like, certain characters, do you want to go after the LD weapon now? Or do you want to go after it later? Because the LD for other characters come along, and it's like, okay, I gotta plan things accordingly. So, and that's a bit of a ramble, but it's a necessary ramble. For me, I will be pulling on this one because I like Pinello. Hope is growing on me. So I'd rather get my improved chances to get the LD weapon now. And the same thing will apply for Emperor because I will be going after his LD because once he comes back with the burst weapon, I will be going after Celeste's LD because that's my waifu. And I like Aranea, so yeah. This is a little thing right there. So, what do I think about certain things here? So, the fact that they held off on the rework for Ultimecia, I do think that is a good idea because it's like, do you want to make them too OP too soon? Or do you want to hold the whole rework off until a later date when it's a more appropriate time? So, I actually like that. And the whole thing with Paine, her EX Weapon, is pretty good. It gives her an excellent form of longevity, especially with skill 1. I do hope and pray that with her rework, I do hope she finds a way to get skill uses of skill 2 back. Or the rework gives her more skill uses right off the gate. That's what I'm hoping. And this is a bit of an update on the rework bit for Paine. So that's on that. So with that, I did promise something along the lines of character spotlight quick tips. So the month of September will be Paine Highwind from Final Fantasy IV. And October will be Sarah. I did say she's going to be October or December. But I will be doing this for Sarah for the month of October because she is getting her LD in a couple of days on JP, and I really want to see, I want to get a good idea of how the LD will work in a sense of the second rework, that sort of angle. Now, for the month of December, this is tentative at the moment. It is tentative that is going to be Lightning because some of the stuff that's coming for her to Global should be coming around December, and I just want to give myself a little bit of time. I need to do a little bit of research on Lightning, that sort of thing. Now, the month of November, that is completely up in the air. I do not have anybody, slated there at the moment. However, I am going to be doing some research, and hopefully I get an answer, hopefully sooner than later. So, to do a quick recap of that, so September is going to be Paine Highwind. October is going to be Sarah. December is a tentative for Lightning. We'll see. And November is completely up in the air. So with that, I'm going to get going because I got a couple of things to do in a bit. So with Wolvie here, signing off. I will catch you all on the flip side.